Okay, so good morning. This is your maths for today, for Sunday. And our learning target is to add decimals within one. Okay, so we're not going over one. We'll be doing that later on. Okay, so your questions today, you've got 5 questions. And these kind of questions are not maybe as straightforward as some of the ones that you've had last week. They're going to require a bit of thought. They're going to require maybe reading the question carefully more than once so that you're really understanding what it's asking you. And there will be a choice of strategies that you can use to answer these. Okay, so I'm going to show you this morning the different strategies that you can use, and it'll be up to you to try one or several of those and to use whichever one or ones work best for you. So give them all a go. I would do them as I show you them, so on a piece of paper, on a whiteboard or something. Give them a go. By the end of it, decide which method you like best and then use that method when you're going through these questions today. Now, there are 5. Some of them will require more than one bit to it, so make sure that, so for example, this one has got 3 different ones to do, so make sure you're doing all of it that it asks for. And maths should be an hour, so that should include watching the video. See if you can do all of these, but if they are tricky, the main thing is to have a go. So don't just type on your answer book, I don't know. Give it a go. If you give it a go, we can see what you found tricky and we can give you a bit more guidance. Remember that maths should be an hour, so if you do like 3 of these and the hour is up, then just type off a message to say, I've got this far in an hour, okay, because it might take you a bit longer. Right, let's get going. Let's have a look at some strategies that you can use today. So strategy number 1, which you might like, is to use a number line, okay? So here we've got our addition, 0.3 add 0.2. Okay, so just using a number line, and you could just write this, copy out a number line on a piece of paper, on a whiteboard. The first bit, the blue block, is our 0.3, and then I've added on straight after that the 0.2, okay? And you can see that that takes us to 0.5. So you just have to make sure that you draw out your number line and you label it correctly to get going. But that's a really nice visual way of working it out. Here we go again with the number line. So we've got our 0.1, that's that blue block, and 0.4. So remember that this second block has got to be worth that number, so 0.4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? Just make sure you've got the right length and the right number of jumps for each of your numbers that you're adding. Okay, so you might think, oh, that's a really nice way of doing it. I like that. Okay, strategy 2. We've used these before. These are part-whole models. Okay, so we've kind of used this the other way around before, but here you've got the 2 numbers that you are adding, so 0.1 and 0.3, and if you add those together, you should get 0.4. Okay, for this one, 0.7, so 7 tenths, 0.2, 2 tenths. That would be 9 tenths, so 0.9. So you might like doing a part-whole model. Okay, strategy 3, we've got our good old place value chart. Okay, we've definitely used these in questions and things like that before. So the first number we're adding is 0.42. So we've got 4 tenths and 2 hundredths. Okay, so there's our 4 tenths. You might use counters if you could draw out a grid like this at home. And if you've got different colour counters, that would be a really lovely way of doing that. So each different colour represents a different value. So here our yellow ones are tenths. So we've got 4 of those because we've got 4 tenths there. And our 2 hundredths. So there's our 2 hundredths in our 0.42. Okay, so this is a really nice way of doing it. So that's our first number, and then 0.3 is our second number. So 3 tenths, we don't have any ones, we don't have any hundredths. Okay, and then you're just adding them up. And if you're using counters, you can actually physically count those. So you'd have 2 of your hundredths, and you'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of your tenths. Okay, so it would be 0.72. That really helps you to make sure you've got each number in the right column. Okay, so strategy 4, we've got our column addition. Okay, so lots of you are very confident using column addition to add. The really important thing to remember with this is that you must remember to put in your decimal point in the correct place, and you need to put it in before you start working out your answer. So when you're writing it out, really important, before you start doing any of the adding, put your decimal point in, and it should be directly below the decimal point for the two numbers that you're adding, okay? Another top tip, just like we have always done in school, using square paper will really help you here to make sure that you've got each digit in the right column, okay? It might also be worth, I think some of you found this last week, using a 0 as a space holder, okay? So it might be that you want to put a 0 there, so it's 0.30. It doesn't change the number, but it might be easier to keep track that you're adding 2 hundredths and 0 hundredths there. So just be careful there, you've got the decimal point in the right place, or it will massively change the value of your answer, okay? So 4 really nice strategies. Those are your 5 questions today. Have a go with doing them. On your answer booklet, me and Mr. Dart would be really interested as well to see which strategy worked for you, okay? So maybe if you're writing it out and adding and uploading a photo, we would like to see which one of these strategies that you use. If you just are typing in the answers, maybe just type in a sentence to say, I really liked using this strategy. That would be really interesting for us to see how you got to your answer as well, okay? Right, enjoy those. Definitely going to need some resilience, definitely going to be needing to read those questions, but they should be fun, especially this one, okay? Give that one a go. The first answer that you get to for that one might not be the right one, so resilience is key. Okay, good luck.